Nancy Pelosi doesn't mind telling the military to cut back, and she doesn't mind telling Americans to reduce their carbon footprint. But
she has no problem demanding the military provide her gas-guzzling private G5 jets to shuttle her and asking for her family to be shuttled around at taxpayers' expense.
Michelle Malkin live in Denver with the latest. Michelle, surprised by this big story yesterday?
Not at all. I think that we owe Judicial Watch, the watchdog group in D.C., a huge debt of gratitude here for uncovering this treasure trove. They did the Freedom of Information Act request that yielded tons of email exchanges that show just what a diva Nancy Pelosi is when it comes to congressional travel. And remember that 2 years ago, she denied that she was imposing on the military and said that, well, she would be fine with commercial travel. And now we see, in fact, that she wanted nothing less than the best Gulfstream jets to shuttle her back and forth between San Francisco and D.C.
Yeah, in her defense, they say, Michelle, that she takes less trips than Denny Hastert did. She averages one a month.
Yeah, well, that's not such a great standard to measure by. And remember, this is a woman who gives us, I think, double-barreled hypocrisy, as you pointed out. Environmental hypocrisy. This is a woman who flies across the country and across the world on these jets to lecture us to reduce our carbon footprints. Yeah. And then the hypocrisy of the military hatred that her district and her area has. So I think those things, plus the imperiousness with which her staff dealt with DOD officials, quite eye-opening.
And that's why on your website you refer to Nancy Pelosi as the Jennifer Lopez of congressional travelers. But there's one other double standard, and that is this, Michelle. This particular rule was instituted after 9/11 that the Speaker of the House should get a private plane or a government plane to shuttle him around. And yet, fast forward to the Barack Obama administration, you know, are we still having a war on terror? Do they still need that kind of security?
Yes, that's true. And then on top of that, of course, all the finger wagging, especially from the Democrats at corporate executives who use these same kind of planes. And I would point people especially to one exchange from just this past December, where she was expecting the military to move a jet for an hour and a half for her because it was inconvenient for her to drive into San Francisco.
Michelle Malkin, always great to see you. Good luck in Denver. Don't get in trouble.
All right.
Sorry it's so cold in the studio.
Her website, MichelleMalkin.com. Meanwhile, straight ahead, new evidence